Energy bills are going back up. Does anyone remember this, right? When Rachel Reeves sat there a couple of months ago telling everybody that Labour was going to save everyone £117 on their energy bills?
I am terrified because the UK financial system just hit a tipping point that every taxpayer should be scared of.
The UK now spends more on people not working than it collects from people who actually are.
Want to know how you know the cost of living crisis has got insane? I'll show you.
Apparently yellow stickers have to be done behind security barriers now. That's crazy.
How did the Roman people build roads that lasted for absolute centuries, yet we go and tarmac a road and it lasts 3 to 5 business days?
Got the price at 222 per pound, 22p. I'm not paying that. I can't even say it.
My weekly pay was around £250 and life was manageable. Prices in 2025 have gone up far faster than wages ever did for us.
In the 1990s, all of this cost me around £20. Proper food for the whole week.
In the 90s, this cost about £2. Anyone could afford a hot meal. In 2025, it's what, £8, £10? That's not a small change anymore.
We bought this house for just over $40,000. It wasn't easy, but it was possible.
Petrol in the 90s was under 50p a litre. Filling up wasn't stressful. When I hear it's over 160 in 2025, that would have been unthinkable to us.
A night out in the 90s didn't empty your wallet. A few drinks, some food, taxi home, all affordable.
A return ticket was under £1. Public transport was truly affordable.
A week here cost around £150. A proper family holiday, we could afford it. Looking at 2025 prices.
Uniforms were cheap enough. Shoes, shirts, coats, you could sort everything without worrying. The costs families face in 2025, I wouldn't know where to start.
Oh, it's glorious sunshine out there, but a lot of us are going to wake up tomorrow morning to find out that there's another £200 going on our bills from July the 1st, which is disappointing. It's the energy price cap increase. I'm Jade Wright. I'm a personal finance writer. And like most people, I am on the standard variable energy price cap tariff at the moment because I've finished one fix and I'm just about looking for another. And there's very little out there, but one of the best things to do today, tomorrow, is to try and find a better tariff out there. Do a price comparison. So go on something like Martin Lewis's Money Saving Expert, do an all of market comparison.
Welcome to Blighty Blighted, your daily reminder that in the United Kingdom, prices seem to have developed a life of their own. Honestly, what on earth is going on? Every week I pop out for the basics and somehow everything costs more than it did before. Food, fuel, electricity, insurance, rent, council tax. It's all going up. You wait a month hoping things might settle down. Nope. Going up. You switch on the news and hear experts discussing inflation, markets, and economic forecasts. Then you look at your bank account and think, whatever they're doing, prices are still going up.
UK right now, probably for me, feels like one of the biggest scams going in the developing world right now. And I'll try to give you a little bit more context. Everywhere you look, and I'll divvy it up. Taxes, which is just obscene. Let's talk about our infrastructure quickly. Rail, prices through the roof. Fraud. Gas prices, fraud. Electric, fraud. The water system, fraud. NHS on its backside. Prisons, gone. State schools, for the great job teachers do, the infrastructure around it. And I feel like people in the UK are being absolutely drained bone dry. And I think the UK is just a case study around the world of how to not run a country, how to not privatise water, how to not privatise rail, how to not privatise utilities.
This caller is the majority of the people in the UK right now, and he is absolutely right. I've been saying this for a while. The UK is only going one way, backwards. Things are only getting more and more expensive, and you get less and less for your money. Never ever more. Take council tax, for example, always going up, at least 5 to 10% per year. Yet public services, schools, roads
is being increased by 13%. That's 13%. That means your average bill will be about £220 per year more expensive than it currently is. the United Kingdom already enjoys the highest energy costs anywhere across Europe. The average across Europe is £500. For the UK, it's around £2,500. When I was campaigning across Southampton, I was speaking to people, lots of families that are already struggling, and I took down some emails of people that just I knew could not afford any more increases. So I'm emailing those people now just to say, look, this is happening, what's your plan? Sending them some links to where they can get some sort of financial help from, because I know these families are already working 2 or 3 jobs between 2 parents, and they've got children. It is becoming unaffordable for the average family. Absolutely unacceptable. I've been reposting videos as well about when Labour were campaigning on the last general election, and they were forcing this point down people's necks that if they were in charge, they would bring down energy costs £300 per year every single year until we were in line with Europe. They've said it over and over and over again, and we've seen nothing but increases. It is absolutely shameful. A vote for anyone other than Reform will mean your energy prices will continue to increase, because Reform is the only one with a clear plan to bring energy prices down, and it means scrapping net zero, opening up oil and gas and selling our market back on the market and giving us some cheaper energy. It's very simple. It's what the rest of the countries do. Norway, I think the average energy bill for Norwegians is around £200 per year on their energy costs. Why? Because they produce 2 million barrels per day, sell it on the open market and give discounted oil to their citizens. It is very simple. We have got the biggest stockpiles anywhere in Europe, and we're not using it. This is why we get to enjoy our net zero campaign and our enormous energy costs. If you've got any questions or you are concerned, no doubt some people are concerned, because people are already stretched pretty thin. Finding an extra couple £100 every single year just for energy is another worry. So let me know if you've got any questions or concerns. Hopefully things will improve.
Well, that didn't last long, did it?
People are concerned about the impact of the conflict in the Middle East on bills. From April the 1st, people's energy bills are going to go down, and that's because of the measures that I took in my budget last year, which will take £117 on average off of people's bills.
Yes, the rest of us call that a flat-out lie, because that £117 was not landing in your pocket between April and June. It was actually an annualised figure based on the off-gen price cap. In normal English, what it actually meant was the saving over those 3 months was about 29 quid. So already the headline and her little speech was doing a lot of heavy lifting. And now Ofgem has confirmed the energy price cap from July to September is going back up, and the typical annual bill will rise from £1,641 to £1,862, which is a £212 increase on the annualised cap. So Labour boasted about £117 annualised saving. Then the next cap wipes that completely out and adds another £104 to your bill before this so-called saving had even had a chance to breathe. And this is exactly how they do it. They take a temporary fall, frame it as government action, slap a nice friendly number on it, and hope nobody checks what the numbers actually mean. Well, unfortunately for them, people like me do, because most people hear £117 saving and naturally think, brilliant, that's £117 off my bills. But that was never really the story. In fact, we spoke about it when she made this announcement. It was never £117 across the year based on a cap that only lasted 3 months. And now the next 3-month cap has gone up even more than the original cap dropped it by. And that's the bit that really matters, is usage. Electric is going up, gas is going up harder. So if you are a normal household actually using energy, not just living inside a spreadsheet in Whitehall, this does not feel like savings. In fact, it's not. It feels just like the same old game. Government spin telling you numbers that look really good in a press release. Unbelievable.
For the first time in history, we are spending more on welfare than we collect in income tax. Last year, workers paid a total of £331 billion in income tax, whilst we spent £333 billion on welfare. Basically, the entire tax contribution was gone before we spent anything on NHS or schools. But here's where it gets worse. If we're spending more than we collect, then we will have to borrow that difference. We're now spending £111 billion every single year just to service our national debt. And to put that into perspective, that is more than the entire budget of £101 billion for the education department, which means we now have a shrinking workforce that's trying to carry a bill that is bigger than their total total contribution. And when a country's maths is not mathing, there's only a few options that we can do. Number 1, raise taxes. Number 2, cut spending. Or number 3, devaluate our currency, aka inflation. The first two options are basically political suicide. So governments will often choose the easier choice, which is inflation. What it means is that by letting the value of the pounds drop, they made the national debt cheaper to pay off. But it does mean that the money in your bank account buys less and less every single year. And when the system is under this much pressure, you simply cannot rely on the state to protect your future. You have to take your personal finances seriously and learn to invest into assets that beats inflation. And you're in the right place to start. If you want to learn how to build a long-term portfolio, learn the market fundamentals, and to stay ahead of the curve from someone who's built her own six-figure portfolio from scratch, then you want to follow me, I'm your finance girl, and come in masterclass to join my investing cohort now. And let me know, what can we do to solve this problem?
The only good thing about the United Kingdom right now is you can lock in for 70 to 80% of the year. Most of the time it's miserable, it's grey, everyone's depressed, the cost of living is through the roof, fuel prices are through the roof at the minute, some places are charging £7-8 for a pint of lager, and pretty much no one can get a mortgage on their own anymore. On top of that, pretty much every city in the country is not safe, so the only thing you should be doing is locking in and working hard. Work your day job through the day, go to the gym, then work on a business or work on a new skill. If you lock in for just 1 or 2 years, you can completely change your life for you and your family. You can move location, move country. There's so much you can do just by locking in for that small amount of time, because most people cannot do it. Most people start and quit a business within the first month. If you can lock in for just 1 or 2 years, and you will be ahead of 99% of people in this country.
Tesco inflation since March 2025. Drinking chocolate was £1.59, now it's £3, and it's up 88.7%. Smoked mackerel fillets were £13.25 per kilo, now it's £25 per kilo, and they're up 88.7%. 1 litre of clementine juice was £1.25, now it's £2.10, and it's up 68%. Mint mouthwash was 45p, now it's 75p, and it's up 66.7%. Soft apricots were £2, now they're £3.30, and they're up 65%. Mini carrots were 96p, and now they're £1.50, and they're up 56.3%. All the frozen fruit that you see that's £3.10 used to be £2, and they're all up 55%. 4 breaded cod fillets were £3.39, now they're £5, and they're up 47.5%. And 15% beef steak mince was £3.50, now it's £5.10, and it's up 45.7%. There were other beef products that were high as well, but they were out of stock.
Is it just me, or is the cost of living kicking everyone's ass right now? Cost of food going up. I seeing lots of posts, lots of like employers, costings are going up, VAT. It's all just a little bit wild. Like, what do we do? This is why I kind of keep the page that I've got, because hopefully I can at least help someone sort of budget their food, save a bit of money, and eat well and keep their family well.
Now this is going to absolutely blow your mind. Okay, the UK collected 331 billion in income tax this year from every worker, every placer, every penny deducted before they even see it. But 331 billion. But we spent 333 billion on welfare. We're now spending more on people not working than we collect from people who are. And the difference doesn't vanish, it just gets borrowed and added to the national debt. But here's where it gets really bad. The interest alone on the debt, 114 billion this year. We are borrowing money just to pay the interest on the money we've already borrowed. So in February alone, the government borrowed 14.3 billion in a single month, the second highest February on record. So the national debt is now at 2.8 trillion. That's not just a deficit, there's not a gap, that's a huge hole that keeps getting deeper. And in 2000, every child born in this country inherited about £11,500 of national debt. But today, that number is £41,000. And that's not my opinion, that's straight from the OBR's own figures. So the taxes you pay aren't even covering the welfare bill. The rest is being borrowed and handed to the next generation to deal with it. And the trajectory is not improving. So what has got to give in this country?
Got a question for you. Have a guess how much it cost me yesterday to park on the Holloway Road. So that's London M1 for half an hour. Have a guess. Do you think it's like £3, £5, £7.50, half an hour? £11 fucking 20 pence. I mean, this country is a joke. It's fucking broken. How can they justify that? Okay, I've got a diesel van, and they're saying it was like something like £7 extra. So it would have been £14 extra. They've put it up if I was parking for an hour. I mean, I'm a sole trader. I have a small turnover. I'm not turning over hundreds of thousands of pounds. I can't afford an expensive electric van. I bought this van. It's a 20 plate for £15,000. That's enough. Why do I need to change this to get an electric van? If this is perfectly good, if it's for being green, what is the point of changing a perfectly good van for something that's hugely expensive? People can't afford it. I mean, I passed the cost, the £11.20 onto the customer anyway. But that's not the point. I feel sorry for them. This country is a fucking joke. It is not the way to go to get people out of diesel cars and diesel vans by taxing them off the road. Because people can't afford to replace for these expensive electric vehicles. They're too expensive and they're impractical still. Joke, innit?
The government think you're idiots. They've just raised the energy price cap by 13% after giving 6 million households a £150 warmer homes discount a few months ago. So they think they can say to you, you're going to be better off under Labour, we're going to reduce your energy prices. They're going to say that, and then they put up energy prices by 13%. That's more. That's on the average UK household will pay £18 a month more, which is what, £220 a year, let's call it. They've given you a discount of £150 or £70 worse off, but apparently you're better off. They think that we are thick. They genuinely think that we don't think with our brains. We hear what they say. Under Labour, we're better off. They're bringing our prices down. Cost of living is going down. And on the other side, they tax you more than they're saving you. Now, you don't have to be a rocket science to work this out. They do crazy policies like this. You're not allowed to drill North Sea oil because it's bad for the climate, but we are allowed to unlock the tariffs that we've put on Russian oil, and we can now buy Russian oil. So they can drill it there, put it on a boat, bring it here, and then we can use it, and that's environmentally friendly. But if we drill it offshore and just pump it in ourselves, that's not. They're mental. Right, they're talking about putting like taxes and maybe even banning wood burners. So what we're going to do is we're going to put your energy price up, your gas price going up 23%, your electric price going up 5%. But we're going to stop you having a wood burner because, of course, we wouldn't want you to keep the warm home without buying energy and gas, because we want you to feel better off than you do now. Guys, let me know what you think in the chat. I just think it's crazy that government ministers think they can treat us like complete idiots and tell us that we're better off when in the pocket we know we're not. So vote according to how you feel when you use your brain, guys. Let me know what you think in the chat. Is this just another one of Ed Miliband's crazy ideas? He blames the world when we're spending 23 billion on solar and wind energy here in the UK when it's hardly ever sunny. It's mental. We can buy oil and gas from Venezuela, from America, from China, from the Arab Emirates, but we can't drill it in the North Sea. What we can do is we can let Norway drill it in the North Sea, take it back for refining, put it on a boat, bring it over here, and we can buy it off them because that's environmentally friendly. It's mental. Let me know what you guys think in the chat. Take care.
So one of the things that I think needs to be talked about on the internet in terms of the cost of living in the UK is the current cost of driving lessons. Girls, I currently pay £80 a lesson. 80 great British pounds for a driving lesson is insane. It's actually insane. I also went to Tesco last night because I wanted some hot chocolate. £5.50 for hot chocolate. I just wanted something a little bit sweet. £5.50. It's insane. The scrape cream was £2.10. Yeah, I feel like it's really, really, really got out of hand. It has really got out of hand, and I'm like, I'm done with it now. Let's stop the bus. I'm getting off. I'm done with it.
Who are going to buy these? Mums, who are they buying it for? Their kids. How many school days are there in a week? 5.
2025. They just need to put one more in there for it to be enough for a week, but no, they want us to buy 2 packets. 2. Who buys these? Mums, again, or people who go to work who want to have it on their lunch breaks or tea breaks. How many in a box? 4. How many working days in a week? 5. They don't want us to buy 1 box at £1.50, they want us to buy 2. So we've got enough for the whole week.
Just grinds on me so much. Like, shopping isn't expensive enough and the prices are not inflated enough. They're not putting the right quantities in the boxes, in the packages either. They're putting just enough so that we have to get a top-up box or buy 2 of the same box. It's disgusting. And that is why I'm switching to own brands. I'm buying Aldi's brunch bars because they actually put 5 in them and they're cheaper. Unless they taste awful, or my kids say they taste awful, or the ingredients in the food is not very good, I'm literally switching everything to own brand. I'm just not doing it anymore.
Guys, it's Jay. So you want to know how to live for £280 per month? This is what I did. Everyone keeps asking, so I'm going to run you through it now. I went out, I looked around and I saw American RVs. Now you can pick up an American RV anywhere between 30 and 50,000. I know it sounds a lot, well, bear with me. You can get finance on that as a car. You can get loans on it, so you can do that. But what I did is I looked around and I found well, there's got to be some old people out there that aren't driving them anymore. Lo and behold, I managed to find one. He couldn't drive anymore because of his eyes, everything else. Sounds a bit nasty, but it's life and it's business, and I knocked him down. I got it for 14,000. I'd spend 4,000 on it, so that's 19,000, 18,000, whatever it is that he owes me. But I've got full central heating. I've got full running water once I fill the tanks up. My toilet is exactly the same as a normal home toilet. You just flush it out. Any drain, anywhere else, anywhere you want to go. 280 works out. My gas, which is LPG, I fill that up probably once every 2.5, 3 weeks. That's £80. And I've got my fuel. My fuel is probably about £80 if I'm driving around, and my MOT and everything is done. My taxi's like £14 a month. It's including my food, everything else. My gas runs all my central heating and my fridge. It's a fucking awesome life. I can literally push the button, I bring the sides in, see all the sides are in. I can bring the sides in and I'm literally ready to go. I swear to God, I could be driving and moving within under 10 minutes. And that's not a rush, there's nothing else. You can park wherever you want because it's 7.5 tonne, you've got a car licence. And you can park anywhere as long as it's legal. That's the main thing, as long as it's legal. Now, I'm in a play guys at the moment, forest bits around me and stuff like that. That's some of the people that know me. I'm doing that at the moment because I've got property nearby that I'm helping out and doing, finishing off. Once that's done, I can just go where I want, really, to be honest with you. I can go onto nice parks, I can basically go anywhere, right? And that's the freedom of it. The only pain in the arse, the cons of it all, is I have to fill up my water every week, which, to be honest with you, I drive to Asda, put the pipe in, fill up the water, and drive off. That's it, simple as. The gas, I go to the petrol station anyway, so I'll fill up and then I do my LPG, which works out, about 150 quid or so, if I'm kind of doing it all. That's it, basically. Any questions, shout me, message me, not a problem, so just let me know. But anything else you can think of, but as I say, if I haven't come to something, let me know, and I'll happily go through it with you. Cheers guys, take care, Jay.
Actually, it's hard for people to think about turning on the heating when the weather is so hot as it is, but this cap is due to last until October, right?
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Ashna. Good morning to you. The energy price cap is actually set every quarter, so the next iteration won't come into effect until the 1st of July and last until the end of September. Of course, the weather might be slightly different than it is now. Effectively, the cap determines how much households will be paying for their energy across England, Scotland and Wales, though there's some slight discrepancies for those on a prepayment meter. Look, analysts were predicting that we would see an increase of around 13% to the price cap. It looks like they were bang on the money. It means the average price or the average bill for a typical household will be £1,850, £1,862.
The solution is very simple, and it's just don't pay it. Pay what you're paying in terms of what you can afford, and don't pay any more. You see, your compliance is your biggest weakness. The more you comply, the worse this gets, yeah? Don't pay it, right? Why are you... People in this country are getting fleeced. Getting bent over, yeah? and getting it from behind. Don't pay it. If everyone said, you know what, forget this, we ain't paying it, they'll have to bring it down again. Just don't pay it. Simple as that. Like, we're now at a point now where, unfortunately, unless the public come together and say no more, these things will get worse and worse and worse. Don't pay it. Cancel your direct debits and pay what you can.
Aldi inflation since last year. Iceberg lettuce was 43p, now it's 89p, up 107%. Furniture polish was 41p, now it's 85p, up 107%. Mint Imperials were 49p, now they're 95p, and they're up 94%. Tomato puree was 31p, now it's 59p, and it's up 90.3%.
This is the weirdest thing ever. I literally had this conversation yesterday. This has just popped up on my socials. I went in the comments, and the very thing I mentioned was in the comments. This comment, 5% fat beef mince, was $3.89, then $4.29, now it's $5.95. Some people say, oh, it's still cheap. It isn't. Them days are done and dusted. I literally picked up the beef and I was like, I'm pretty sure that was never nearly £6, and I put it back. The fact that some of them things have inflated nearly 100% says everything to me. It's not profiteering, it's just pure greed. That is all it is. They've seen a rise in customers going there, ramp them prices up. People who work there, have you had a big pay rise? I know the CEOs definitely would have, but I think it's absolutely disgraceful. I do like Aldi, I do like the social media, what they put out and stuff, it's a bit of banter, but you're literally pissing on your own bonfire. I think people will start to realise how much you put your costs up like that, and they're just going to say, well, it's just the same price to go to Tesco. You get more variety in Asda and Tesco's and Sainsbury's, and you're doing your customers dirty there. I just don't understand the absolute pure greed of these fucking companies. Get it if it was like 10%, 20%, but to put things up like 100%, what's caused you to do that? I'll tell you something right now. People might think it's really expensive in there, but Marks and Spencer's is very, very good and cheap, and you get more variety than what Aldi is now. You don't believe me? Go and try it out. For me, Aldi, you're done.
And I went to an Italian restaurant, and it was half full. Now, this is a good Italian restaurant that's used to be probably full on a Tuesday. Half full. Service was crap. The meal was 350 quid for two people. We had a bottle of Prosecco. Okay? 350 quid. I was like, that's interesting. Went to Opium for a drink afterwards down in Chinatown. There's these two like different bars, Opium and the experimental cocktail bar. They're the kind of place where there's just a door and you only know about it if you know about it. And there's a guy at the door and you say, used to turn up at these and you say, can I come in? They go, have you got a booking? You say, no, you can't get it. Now you just turn up and you get in. 3 floors are over. Go in now. Only 1 floor is open. 8 people were in there. We had 4 cocktails and it was 115 quid. For 4 cocktails, I was like, that's expensive. Then went to, where did I go after that? Ronnie Scott's. Ronnie Scott's used to be my favourite place to go. I never used to go and watch jazz shows. I used to go to the upstairs where it was kind of like a bar, but more of a disco, and you'd have random stuff. A guy reading poetry or I don't know, like a random band playing, and it would be packed. There'd be 80, 100 people in there all night. They've refurbed it. They spent 4 million, I think, on a refurb, and they've made it like downstairs, so it's a proper, like a little amphitheatre. It's beautiful what they've done. 15 people are in there. And that evening, I reckon, I spent about 600-700 quid. Yeah, it's a big night out without being a big night out. You know, like normally you plan a big night out, hotel and things. That's a night that would have cost me, back when I used to work here, 300 quid.
Yeah.
So I can't believe the amount of money I've spent.
Yeah.
Everywhere's half full or empty.
Yeah.
Everything's really expensive. There's no rich young, because London was propped up by rich young people.
Yeah.
They're not out. They're not doing things. I was like, London's cooked.
Yeah.
We're done.
Yeah.
Britain's housing wealth is in danger of collapsing. That's the headline from the Telegraph this week, which is, I think, pretty alarming. And the article is full of people trying and struggling to sell their home. You know, one homeowner cut 75 grand off the asking price. Others have had their home sitting on the market for months. But honestly, mortgage rates have more than doubled. I think, of course, selling has become harder. That's exactly what I'd expect to see. You know, housing markets, they move in cycles. But here's the part that interests me the most. You know, I don't think this article is really asking whether house prices are struggling. I think it's asking a much bigger question, which is, fundamentally, has Britain changed? Because since the 1980s, it was mentioning how UK house prices have massively outperformed most developed countries. And if you're a homeowner watching this, just like me, collectively now, we hold over 5.5 trillion of wealth in residential property. And the economists quoted in the article, they argue that Britain has become too dependent now on property. And they're probably right. But I think being dependent on something and being able to walk away as a society from what is our biggest source of wealth, I think is two very different things. Because most people don't buy a home because they want exposure to real estate. They want it because they want security. They want a roof over their head. They want, they're buying to build a future, a financial secure future for their children. So I think if inflation settles, confidence returns, people start feeling more optimistic again, are we really going to bet that millions of people stop wanting to buy and compete for property? I just can't see it.
Hello, good evening. Do you know, I thought I would come on and just share this because I laughed so much. Now, see, for all you big booby ladies like myself, please do not trust some of these people online saying that you can wear, strapless bras, or, you can use the boob tape, or you can use these. Oh, honest to God, I think if you are like a D under, maybe it works. Maybe it works. See, if you're anything above that, please do not fall for it. Do not fall for it. So I never bought this. But I just popped it on, right? So you're supposed to also, you put it on and then you go whoop, and it's supposed to scoop them up. Yeah, that doesn't work. So I did that. So I popped on, scooped it up, and it literally, the two bits just fell over it. It literally just covered it. But just from the sides. It was giving it a nice cozy hug. But yeah, I was laughing. Because it's hilarious. It is hilarious. So yeah, just a word of advice to all my large-chested ladies. Please don't fall for this and these types of things. The boobs are too heavy for it, and it just doesn't work. Don't waste your money. It's hilarious. It's very, very funny. But yeah, I hope you're having a good day. We'll see you. Bye.
60k a year is the new 40k. Now, that does sound ridiculous until you look at what's happened to the cost of normal life. So 6 years ago, 40k salary was often seen as decent money. Not rich, not wealthy, but comfortable. And today, many households need closer to 60k just to create that same feeling. Why? Because almost every major household bill has moved. All of your essentials, mortgage payments have increased, rent if you're paying rent, council tax has increased, energy, food costs, childcare costs, everything went up. And the real big part about this is most salaries did go up, but not at the speed of the cost of living. So when people say they earn more than they ever have, but somehow feel worse off, they're not imagining it. The salary went up, but the cost of living went up fast. This is why households earning 50, 60k or even more are still telling me that they're feeling pressure. People didn't suddenly become bad with money. The definition of comfortable changed, and the maths is so very different now.
The UK is no longer designed for anyone to be happy unless you're rich. It's actually ridiculous what's happened to the country. They've run it into the ground. Take living in London, for example. I've been scrolling, I've seen people that make maybe 25k a year, they live in London, they've got a tiny box room, they've literally got a budget, you have to budget, otherwise you're just not going to survive. They've got a budget the fuck down on everything. To the point they have no life, to the point there's no social life, to the point they can't go shopping, to the point they can't even eat the food they actually want to eat. People are living on noodles. And as long as you have a government that don't give a F about the people, everyone is going to get effed. Everyone's going to get effed. As long as the cost of living is going to keep being way higher than wages, as long as that cost of living rises, and the wages stay where they're at, it's always going to be a massive, massive problem. And then do you know how they not even how they solve it, but do you know what the government think? Do you know what? We need more taxes. More taxes on everything.
What the fuck is going on with the state of the UK roads? It is literally just potholes everywhere. Every time I go over a pothole, I've started shouting, "Parkour! Parkour!" I'm fucking panicking every time I'm driving anywhere now, because it sounds like I'm scraping my fucking exhaust system fully off every time I go down a fucking side street. Sort your shit out, UK government!
Okay, so here are the things that every British person should have in their freezers. First of all, frozen peas. Some in a bag, some just rolling around loose around the drawers. Next, a full bag of oven chips, and underneath that, a near empty bag of oven chips with about 3 or 4 chips left that's just been stuffed under the new bag and for some reason hasn't been thrown away. Next, I've got a Tupperware half filled with some unidentified brown liquid that's been frozen, obviously. Could be a sauce, could be gravy, no one will ever know. Half a scoop of mashed potato that's been saved for some reason. An empty box that used to contain ice lollies that fools the person every time they look in it, but they still don't throw it away. And that should even be left in there even if they buy a new box of ice lollies, which they'll have to kind of stuff in, you know, even though the empty box is taking up a lot of room, they'll still leave it in there. Bag of hash browns, essential.
Back in the 1950s, people didn't have much money, but there was a feeling that hard work got you somewhere. You could save, you could plan, you could get ahead. Today, many people feel like they're running on a treadmill, working harder and harder just to stay in the same place. The only thing moving quickly is the cost of living. And which direction is it moving? Going up. The worrying thing is that people are starting to lose hope that it will stop. A temporary increase is one thing, a permanent squeeze is another. Young people can't get started, families are cutting back, pensioners are counting every pound, and the middle class are discovering they're not quite as comfortable as they thought. We're all being promoted to the exciting new lifestyle category of careful spending. Remember when a trip to the supermarket was routine? Now it's a tactical operation. You need planning, discipline, and the instincts of a military commander. And every time you think you've adjusted, the food bill is going up. The energy bill is going up. The cost of everyday life is going up. And that's why so many people in Blighty feel exhausted. Not because of one big crisis, but because of 1,000 little increases that never seem to stop. At this rate, we'll all need a pay rise just to afford the pay rise. Cheerio, and I will see you all in the next video.